You need to retake your history? Oh no.
Detected.
How does Dutch history work? Well, basically, we had this Spanish guy that we didn't like. And then we're like, yo, Spanish dude, we don't like you. And then the Spanish king was like, okay, let's go to war. But we were like, dude, there's like this other country called France in between. And he's like, yeah, but let's fight anyway. So we had this war that lasted 80 years. And then the war was gone after 92 years. Because there was like this little break in between as well where they sort of just chilled. And ate pancakes. I don't know about the pancake part, but the other part is true. And then a little while later, they were like, yo, let's continue fighting. And they're like, okay, let's do it. But France is still there. What if we take boats? And then there was this guy called William. And he was like, yo, these Spanish dudes, not a fan. Got rid of them. And then we put him in our national anthem anyway, because we didn't want to be, you know, too rude. So that's Dutch history right there for you. Hope that makes sense. Oh, and then we went out into the world. We were like, yo, we got this boating company called the United Verenigde Oost-Indische Company, you know, like this Dutch company thing.
Detected.
We had this like this trading company that basically made a lot of boats, and we're like, yo, what if we just go to other countries and then take other people's stuff, and then we make a lot of money? So we came up with this thing where we actually picked up human beings in Africa, and then the Dutch people sold them. But, you know, Dutch history books brush over this as if nothing happened. They were like, yo, no, that we did do that, yes, but what about herbs and stuff? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we brought herbs as well. So they just sort of brush over that and forget like that ever happened. You know, they had this triangle trade going on where they picked up people in Africa and then they sold them in America. And the Dutch people made a lot of money off that. Now, they did sell other things as well, but... And then the British came along, and the British were like, yo, this is not cool, dude. You guys are kind of taking a lot of land that we would like to have as well. So we're like, oh, God, those British people are pretty scary. What about we sell you stuff instead? And the British were like, yeah, we don't really want war either. So like, okay, cool. So we sold them like New Zealand, and we sold them like... Or no, I don't think New Zealand. We did sell Australia, did sell New Amsterdam, a bunch of places. I'm not entirely sure on that. Don't check back me on that one, but... And then eventually, the Americans didn't like the British very much, and they got rid of them over there. And we were like, LOL, we sold that. Told you guys. And then the Dutch people were very rich. But then we didn't really have any land anymore, so it doesn't really matter all too much. So there you go. You got it figured out for you, Amanda. No worries. Got any more questions about Dutch history? I got it covered. Oh, you don't have to do World War II? World War II is also pretty straightforward. Dutch people were like, hey, Germany. Remember World War I where we were like friends and stuff? And we didn't really fight? And they were like, no, we don't remember that. And then they took the Netherlands. We're like, yo, German guys, can you please stop? And it took 5 years to stop. And then, like, the Canadians came, and the Americans came, and the Russians came, and they were like, yo, be free. And we're like, yeah, thanks. We're like, thanks, America. Can we be friends now? And Germany was like, yo, we're kind of broke now, but we lost this war thing. Can we maybe get some money? And we're like, LOL, Germany, what the heck? And we're like, okay, that's cool. And then we gave them a loan, and they're still paying that back. Actually, apparently, they figured that out, like, last year. Apparently, they paid that off. We got the worst trade in history. Germany was like, yo, you remember that war thing that was like 2 months ago? Yeah, about that. We got rid of the dude. Now we need to kind of rebuild a country. That'd be cool. Thanks. And I'm like, oh, all right. Here, have some money. What about Switzerland in the World Wars? They were like, LOL, we've got mountains. And Germany was like, LOL, we don't care about mountains. So Switzerland just sat there. Lowko, there's this guy called Luther. Luther was like, yo, Dutch people. Remember those Catholics? They've got like all kinds of weird traditions, you know. They like eat bread every time they go to church, and they like have a lot of gold in their churches. What about not? And the Dutch guys were like, whoa, that's pretty cool, Luther. Tell me more about this thing. And I was like, well, what if we just remove all paintings and stuff out of these churches? And you're like, whoa, nice. So now we just get to sit on cold, hard benches instead and not eat bread. Just listen to this old guy talk. But he's like, well, you know what? All these churches are teaching in like Latin and Greek and stuff. We don't even speak that stuff. What if we just, you know, teach in Dutch instead? And they were like, yo, that's pretty cool. Now we actually understand what's going on.
Asset transportation underway.
So,
Assets
yeah.
in the air.
So we figured that part out too.
Understood.
Yeah, he also banned music. That wasn't that cool.